what's up, everybody? This is Keith Person of Wires Math, Engineering and Beyond, and I'm out at the Tomorrow's Aeronautical Museum, and I'm getting ready to interview Mr. Robin Petgrave, and I'm expecting to get a lot of good responses from him. He has a lot of programs going on here for kids, and I'm looking forward to the interview. So stay tuned. Petgrave is arriving for the interview that I have with him, and he's actually early, so I'm going to have to get ready for this interview. Get ready to do it. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Petgrave, for taking the time out to let me conduct this interview. So it's important for me to talk to people like you who have been to hell and back, with certain ventures and businesses, so I can take your story back to the people that, I work with. For one, I have my own organization, which is Wires, Math, Engineering, and Beyond, which is an organization that I started to inspire kids for STEM. At this time, I would like to give you a copy of my book.
Oh, cool.
It's called Calculus and Crack, the Daquan Johnson story.
Okay. That's fantastic.
It's basically a story about an inner city. I had to give you props, brother.
That's dope.
It's a story about an inner city kid out of South Central Los Angeles who wants to become an engineer. The calculus part comes in is because that's the one class that all engineers must take in order to proceed in the major. So he's fighting his environment, he's fighting a professor who doesn't like the color black, so he has all these odds against him, and of course he comes out.
À tout à l'heure. Okay. Bon voyage. Bye bye.
So of course, he has to fight all these elements in order to get through school, which, normal engineering students normally don't have to. So it's an inspirational story, and, the goal was to inspire, kids that look like me to become engineers and scientists. Okay, so thank you so much for, accepting the book and having
This
us
is
here.
great. This is going to be great reading for the kids that come to this program, because, this program is it's like it's a find yourself place. Kids come here because they're attracted by the airplanes and helicopters, and when they come here they find that there's so many different jobs and different fields in STEM, in aviation and aerospace. And so a lot of kids come here thinking helicopters are cool, airplanes are cool, and they wind up being engineers. They wind up being, one of our kids, my director of operations, we're training him to be an astronaut. In
Wow.
the next 2 years, he's going to go to space
Wow.
on a SpaceX Dragon capsule. And we have, I mean, even one of the kids wanted to be cooks, so we put him through the Cordon Bleu, and that's why we have that restaurant outside, because
Wow.
we built him a restaurant.
Wow.
So this is great, because this now exposes the kids to this. They start to understand the value of calculus and why the education is important.
Yeah.
And what we found is, when you get kids in this atmosphere and you keep just hitting them with all this positive role models like yourself, doing amazing things that is not standard or the norm, it really just inspires them to think out of the box, and they start to change their behavior. Like, all of a sudden being smart is cool, you know. They realize that the athlete, the jock, doesn't quite make as much as the little nerdy guy who's now
Yeah.
Bill Gates, you know.
Yeah.
So they start to understand that things are changing, the dynamics are changing. Girls are more impressed by what you're capable of than what you've done, you know.
Yeah.
And this is just this is really cool. You know, one of the things that we have here in this museum, we have over 5,000 kids in this program, and we've had 8 kids set 15 aviation world records. There's all this technology and all this new stuff going on here. Like a couple days ago, we just got our certification for the first all-electric flight training airplane in the country. We own the first 2 of them,
Wow.
and we just got the certification from the FAA. So now we're going to change the whole way people get around, you know. Now when these electric aircraft are being used for flight training, that becomes commonplace. So now companies like Airbus and Boeing that are already experimenting with trying to make an electric jumbo jet. I mean, crazy, right? Now all of a sudden that becomes more possible, because these things are now becoming commonplace. But the one thing I thought was cool, we had Dr. Dre come by here
Okay.
not too long ago,
Uh-huh.
and he was just blown away by this place. And then I put things into perspective for him. I said, you know, a lot of great people have come out of the city of Compton. And I said, you know, Dr. Dre, you were born with certain skills and talent that made you unique. And you applied yourself right, avoided the obstacles, and you were able to flourish. But just think back to when you were in school, right? You are in a class of, 30 kids? And you were born with those skills, and that was your ticket out.
Yeah.
Those other 30 kids, they're trying to figure out or do they just weren't born with that skill or talent. So some of them are still stuck in that mess, right? But this place, what this does is, every single kid is born with a brain, and we teach them how to use it more efficiently, a smarter way to do it.
Okay.
We can make them smarter, and with that, each kid has his ticket out. Because if
Wow.
you start using and applying yourself and start embracing all these opportunities around you, like STEM and
Yeah.
calculus and all that stuff, that is your ticket out. That is your path to getting that job, to make you financially independent, to make you support your family, and make you be able to choose your own destiny. And so Dr. Dre was like, this place is incredible. I'm like, yeah, because here they all have a ticket out. We awaken that in them and let them know and give them the resources to do it. So you might not be able to rap, but if you can do some calculus,
Yeah.
and if you can't, don't worry about it. We
Uh-huh.
can tutor you until you can.
That's right.
And then if you can do some calculus, well, you might wind up being lucky enough to become a civil engineer.
Wow.
So
Now, how did you meet Dre? I mean, how did he stumble upon your place?
they're doing this movie called Compton's Finest, and they profiled Venus and Serena Williams,
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar, the mayor, Dr. Dre, and they felt that something was missing from the book or the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they realized that there's this little place over here in Compton at this airport that have made the youngest African American airline captain in U.S. history. It has made the youngest, 15 aviation world records out of this place. And they realized, wait a minute, this place has to be included in this
Exactly.
movie, because this place takes normal, ordinary kids and gets them to do great things,
Wow.
noteworthy things,
Wow.
things that they've written books about, putting together movies about, been on TV, things to bring positive change in their lives. And by doing so, it's changed the whole image of this entire city, this entire community. Now, this is going to be known as the technology center for young people. Um, our makerspace, teaching them all the latest technology for manufacturing. We have kids that are building a liquid fueled rocket that's going to go to space. And
That's
we're
incredible.
competing against the top technology colleges: Caltech, UCLA, USC, Purdue. We're competing against those. Our high school kids from Compton are competing against them.
High school kids are competing against college kids.
Yes.
That is something.
And right now, we're actually further along in our development of our rocket than all of the universities actually in the world. There is no program
Say that one more time. That's impressive.
our rocket is further along in its development than every single university in the world.
Wow.
Not just in the United States. And this competition, it's going to be announced in June. We're already working on our space capable rocket.
Wow.
That's in the hangar.
Wow.
High school kids working on this.